Caitanya Jaya Caitanya Jaya Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram. Yes, so last time we read about how Krishna is the maintainer, and from that we discussed the life of Srila Swami. So I will continue reading from the next paragraph. In this verse, it is clearly stated that the eternal blissful cognizant form of the Supreme Lord is to be found within the glaring effulgence of the Brahma Jyoti, which emanates from the body of the Supreme Lord. So, Brahma Jyoti may be peaceful, but within that Brahma Jyoti, there is the form of the Lord. And how is that form of the Lord? It is eternal. It always remains like that. It is blissful. Bliss is higher than peace. It is blissful. It is the cognizant form. Avidya. We have discussed this. The Supreme Lord is avidya, and all of us are anavidya. The Lord is aware of every detail about everything, and we are unaware of everything. We are still unaware of the details. So the supreme form of the Lord is cognizant. He is aware about everything. He is very much lively, always relishing his pastimes, his transcendental pastimes. So within that glaring effulgence of the Brahma Jyoti, which may be peaceful at the most, within that lies the supreme form of the Lord. Thus the personal body of the Lord is the source of the Brahma Jyoti, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 14.27. That the impersonal Brahman is dependent on the Supreme Personality is also stated in the Hayashirsha Pancharatra. This Brahma Jyoti on which the Mayavadis are depending on, that Brahma Jyoti is depending on the Supreme Form of the Lord. In other Vedic scripture, or in every other Vedic scripture, such as the Upanishads, wherever there is talk of the impersonal Brahman in the beginning, the Supreme Personality is finally established at the end. In fact, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in one place, Mahaprabhu meets a Muslim preacher, Muslim a preacher who reads the Quran, who does all the teaching in the masjid, a preacher. So Mahaprabhu had questioned him that you read the Quran, therefore you are aware of what is written in the Quran. So he said yes. And then Mahaprabhu tells him that what is in the end. In the beginning, yes, it is all about impersonal, because we know that they don't believe in deity worship. So in the beginning, yes, here also it is mentioned. Even in all the Vedic scriptures, such as the Upanishads, there is talk of the impersonal Brahman in the beginning, but the Supreme Personality is finally established where? At the end. Mahaprabhu questions this about Quran to this Muslim preacher, to this Muslim priest. And Mahaprabhu asks him, isn't it established that there is a supreme form of the Lord in the end of the Quran? He says yes. So it is confirmed that even in the Quran, there is a personal form of the Lord established in the end of the Quran, but nobody brings it out. So there is a discussion regarding this in Chaitanya Charitamrita about the discussion between Mahaprabhu and this Muslim preacher. So where is it coming from? From our Vedic scriptures. These are all branches. The Ishopanishad mantra we quoted above indicates that the Supreme Absolute Truth is both impersonal and personal eternally, but that his personal aspect is more important than the impersonal one. According to a mantra in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Yato va imani bhutani jayate. This cosmic manifestation is an emanation from the Supreme Absolute Truth and it rests in the Supreme Absolute Truth. It comes, all this, what we see or what we don't see, everything comes from the Supreme Absolute Truth and it also goes back and rests into that Absolute Truth. The Nitya Baddha, those who are eternally bound in this material manifestation, they come out, they do their activities, and again at the time of when Mahavishnu breathes in, everybody goes back inside. They go and they continue their activities inside the body of Mahavishnu also. And again, when it's time, they are all released out. Again, they continue their activities. So that is how we are eternally in this cosmic manifestation, going in and out, in and out, in and out. But this is all emanation from the Supreme Absolute Truth, and that the Supreme Absolute Truth has a form, personal form. Thus, the Absolute Truth has been called the ablative, causative, and locative performer, and as such, he must be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for these are symptoms of personality. Somebody is causative, is the cause of all causes. There has to be a form. He's a locative performer. The Lord is there in everybody's heart, but that doesn't mean the Lord doesn't have a personal abode of himself. He's he's doing his activities in his personal abode. So the Lord has very much has a form. He likes to eat rasgullas made by his devotees. He likes to eat butter made by his devotees. So how will he eat the butter if doesn't have a form? Likes to eat means what? That means there has to be a form for that desire to come. So without a form, how can that desire come? So therefore, we have to understand he very much has this form. These are symptoms of personality. As an ablative performer, he is the source of all thinking, feeling, and willing in this cosmic manifestation. Whatever thinking, feeling, willing is happening in this cosmic manifestation, the source is the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord also thinks, he also has feelings. Mother Yashoda is scolding him, suddenly he has the feeling of fear. Mother is scolding, she may hit me, and therefore he's running in fear. Willing, he also has willing, the Supreme Lord has willing, let me go and eat butter at other people's house. And when the gopis, they hang the butter very high, and if Krishna is not able to reach that, then he will show anger. And how does he show anger? By passing urine in their house. Krishna passing urine in their house. He's not doing it because he is because it's not that it is something out of his control. It is by his own willing to show anger, manifestation of anger. How did you put it so high up? See what I do. So out of his willing, he passes urine. There is no possibility of the arrangement and design of the cosmic manifestation. Without the Supreme Lord thinking, feeling, and willing, how will all this happen, all this cosmic manifestation? Because he thought about it, because he felt about it, because he desired it. Therefore, this cosmic manifestation is there. Then again, he's causative. He's the original designer of the cosmos. And he is also locative. That is, everything is resting in his energy. These attributes are all clearly attributes of his personality. This gravitational force that is there. Scientists can explain lot of things that yes, there is gravitational force, and once Newton was sitting under the apple tree, the apple came and fell on him, and he discovered about this gravitational force. Yes, he discovered about it. He figured it out. But it is existing. He did not create it. Nobody in the material world created it. Who created it? The Supreme Lord. It is the energy of Krishna. Gravitational force is nothing but the energy of Krishna. And the non-existence of gravitational force is also the energy of Krishna. When Krishna wants, where Krishna wants, it will be there. Where he doesn't need it, where he doesn't want it to be there, he will not put it. So these are all attributes of Krishna's personality. In the Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3, it is said that when the Supreme Personality of Godhead desires to become many, he glances over material nature. As also confirmed in Aitareya Upanishad 1.1.1, Sa Aikshata. Sa Aikshata, the Lord glanced at material nature. The cosmic manifestation did not exist before his glance. Therefore, his glance is not materially contaminated. His seeing power existed before the material creation. Therefore, his body is not material. Our seeing power came after we got birth. In the womb of the mother, the body develops. Then at one point, the eyes, they also develop. And then after some time, the child opens the eyes. So after our manifestation, we get this ability to open our eyes and see something or hear something. Even as a child, actually, the child cannot see some things properly. They see everything in a macro, what is it called? In a huge size. They see everything is like very huge in front of them. Therefore, sometimes people go close to the child and say, "Oh, dear," and then the child starts crying because he's seeing that huge demon is coming close to the child. That is the reason. But actually, this reminded me of another thing. I was reading Guru Maharaj's biography, and Guru Maharaj's mother is saying that I'm speaking of my Guru Maharaj, my spiritual master, Sri Srimad Jai Pataka Swami, Guru Maharaj. So Mother Lori, mother of Sri Srimad Jai Pataka Swami Guru Maharaj, is saying that from the very beginning, he could see things clearly because he could exactly point out specific things. And he exactly knew what he was doing, where he was looking, and why he was looking. So pure devotees are different because they don't take birth like ordinary materially inflicted living entities. They appear in the material world. So again, coming back to this, that the Supreme Lord's glance is not materially contaminated. The seeing power of Krishna existed before the material creation, therefore, his body is not material. His thinking, feeling, and acting are all transcendental. If Krishna is thinking something, that is transcendental, it is not material. Oh, Krishna is also thinking, I also think, then Krishna and I am on the same platform. That is utter foolishness, nothing else. In other words, it should be concluded that the mind by which the Lord thinks, feels, and wills or desires is transcendental, and that the eyes by which he glances over material nature are also transcendental. With his eyes, he can kill someone. With his eyes, he can attract someone. With his eyes, he can eat. With his eyes, he can hear also. But we cannot do that. So therefore, the Lord is transcendental. Since his transcendental body and all his senses existed before the material creation, the Lord also has a transcendental mind and transcendental thinking, feeling, and willing. This is the conclusion of all the Vedic literature. Now, with this short paragraph, we'll read and we'll stop then for today. The word Brahman is found everywhere throughout the Upanishads. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are all taken together as the absolute truth. Even in Bhagavad Gita, it is there. Brahman and Paramatma realization are considered to be the stages towards the ultimate realization, which is the realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, which is the real conclusion of all the Vedic literature. Oh, this is the end. We'll finish it then. Thus, according to the evidences afforded by various Vedic scriptures, the Supreme Lord Krishna is accepted as the ultimate goal of Brahman realization. If somebody is aiming for Brahman realization, the ultimate platform or the ultimate success is when somebody comes to the realization of the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna. When somebody comes to understand about Lord Krishna, that means unka Brahman realization successful hua. The Bhagavad Gita 7.7 confirms that there is nothing superior to Krishna. Madhvacharya, one of the greatest acharyas in Brahma's disciplic succession in our Sampradaya. Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, we belong to that. Srila Prabhupada belongs to that Sampradaya. We belong to Srila Prabhupada. So Madhvacharya, one of the greatest acharyas in Brahma's disciplic succession, has stated in his explanation of the Vedanta Sutra that everything can be seen through the authorities of the scriptures. If we have any doubt about anything, we refer to the scriptures. Therefore, there are three references that are given that are to be taken: Sadhu, Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru. But bona fide Guru. These days, there are many gurus. In fact, some people also keep their name where there is Guru. So just by having a name or just by calling oneself, I am Guru, they don't become Guru. Guru means one who is self-realized. Self means Krishna. Self means the Supreme Self, Krishna, and also the part and parcel of that self. Understanding the connection. One who has realized this knowledge is called self-realized. Where was I? So, one of the greatest acharyas in Brahma's disciplic succession, Madhvacharya, has stated in his explanation of the Vedanta Sutra that everything can be seen through the authorities of the scriptures. He has quoted a verse from the Bhavishya Puran in which it is stated that the Rig Ved, Yajurved, Samved, Atharva Ved, Mahabharata, Pancharatra, and original Ramayana are actually all Vedic evidence. The Purans accepted by the Vaishnavas are also considered Vedic evidence. Indeed, whatever is contained in that literature should be taken without argument as the ultimate conclusion. And all these literatures proclaim Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This thing that whatever is given in all these literatures should be taken without argument as ultimate conclusion. For example, we know that the urine and stool of any living entity is very impure. But in the scriptures, it is mentioned that cow is pure. Therefore, everything about the cow, even the stool, even the urine and the stool of the cow is pure. And because it is mentioned in the literature, one should simply accept this conclusion without any argument. But one who argues is to be considered, one who argues, they themselves consider themselves to be very intelligent, but in the eyes of the genuinely intelligent persons, in the vision of the genuinely intelligent persons, actual intelligent persons, personalities, such people are to be considered having poor fund of knowledge. They are to be considered actually lacking all intelligence because they are arguing in the wrong place. That means they are unable to understand the authority of these scriptures. One who does not understand the authority of these scriptures, no matter how much intelligent they consider themselves to be, or doesn't matter how intelligent he is considered by his likes, by those who are his followers, still an actually intelligent person will understand that this is simply a display of lack of intelligence. So all these literatures proclaim Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So with that, we come to the end of chapter number 24. And Krishna willing, we'll continue with chapter 25 tomorrow. Personal and impersonal realization. So thank you very much, devotees, for a fine association. Vancha kalpatriyascha kripa sindhuvya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Actually, there was a point in my mind which I wanted to share that once actually many times we make this kheer in Bengali, it is called payesh. Basically, it's kheer actually. So many people have this habit of adding a little salt to it to make it more tastier. And somehow I got to know that okay, if you add a little salt in it, it becomes very tasty. But it so happened that because Guru and Krishna, if somebody is trying to be sincere, Guru and Krishna will help them in any way. So now I had started doing it maybe once or twice. I had done it, and then once my authority, just out of no context, literally out of no context, they happened to we were discussing about something, and suddenly they happened to say that, for example, in our scriptures, it is said that one should never mix salt in milk because it becomes as good as um, the flesh of a cow, eating the cow flesh. And I was very it was in the beginning years when I was just coming into Krishna consciousness. But fortunately, I had very strong faith in the words of my spiritual master. And still, when I was told this, my out of humble query, I just asked that, oh, how is it that if you add salt in milk, it becomes as good as cow flesh? Why is it so? And the reply was, we accept scriptures as it is. Devotees, they don't argue on scriptures because we do not need all that intelligence why and how. If Krishna has said it, we follow it. This was the reply I got. And which means when Guru chastises, that is the greatest mercy. Sometimes we think ourselves to be so intelligent and we think gurus are foolish. Array, we just call them guru for namesake, but we want to argue that no, I can't do it, I know my situation better, I have to do it this way. Okay, then go ahead, then don't ask for suggestions. So as soon as my authority said this, I immediately said okay. And from then on, I've been very careful that I should never mix salt with milk, because then it is as good as cow flesh. And that means cow is our mother. So we understand what it means. So I was reminded of this aspect when I was reading that line and I wanted to share it, but somehow I did not. And again, I thought of sharing it, so I shared it now. So this is how we accept scriptures without debate, without argument, and without pondering on the thought why. It doesn't matter why and how. If my guru has said it, if Shastra has said it, if a sadhu has said it, just follow it. If you want to become a devotee, if 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 there is sincerity in our if there is faith in the words of sadhu, guru, shastra, then only we can progress. One who has no faith in sadhu, guru, shastra will be stuck in that same position lifetime after lifetime until they break that barrier of that faith aspect in the words of sadhu, guru, and shastra. So that was what I wanted to share. Thank you very much once again. श्री श्रीमद शिला जय पताका स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय, जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल।
हरि हरि बोल।